So let's talk about another team now, and we'll stick in the NFC for a second. We'll go with the Rams. The Rams are interesting to me because, frankly, I think Sean McVay is such a just golden god in the eyes of most. Do you want to take the hero or do you want to take the angel or the devil here?
I'm going to let you choose because I don't know which side you're going on here. I'm kind of on the fence about the Rams, and I'm willing to let you talk.
I'm going devil.
Okay, go for it.
I'm going devil.
And this is simple.
Your quarterback is old as ass, and then your defensive tackle is 4,000 years old. He retires all of a sudden. Like, look, at the end of the day, your quarterback is not a spring chicken, and I know he had a great year last year, but quarterbacks get hot, and you have no Aaron Donald. If I'm being serious, like the number one thing here to me is no Aaron Donald just means your whole defense is going to rework. And I know it's not the Aaron Donald of past, but we have no idea what this defense looks like when they have to make up for that sort of a presence. And one thing that I always think about with interior defensive linemen particularly is what it provides the second level of defense and how it then saves all the way back to the secondary, right? So you think about what the pass rush has done to save the secondary, what the occupying does of a defensive line to help the middle of the defense. You don't have that anymore. So I don't even know what to expect from this defense. And I know that Sean McVay can make chicken salad out of chicken, no matter what his offense looks like. But man, Stafford is not 28 years old and rising, right? So is there some sort of a wall he hits at some point? He had been injury prone until last year. Is there an injury issue? Like, there's just too many maybes. And the 49ers are clearly better. I do believe the Seahawks are getting better. I do believe that the Cardinals are getting better. So I don't think the road's very easy for the Rams either.
I agree with a lot of your points, but I can't take the other side of this. I think you're underestimating how good Matthew Stafford still is. Yes, he's not young, but I thought he played his best season last year. And I mean, I even question myself. What am I saying? This guy had a 5,000-yard season in Detroit. He won a Super Bowl a few years ago. But you just go back and you watch how in control he was. He looked healthy. He was running that offense at a very, very high clip. Like, we all love Puka Nacua, and Puka was great, but a lot of that was Matthew Stafford finding him. Matthew Stafford was out of his mind last year. I thought he was fantastic. Really, really good player. And I don't think that goes away in 1 year, as long as he's healthy. That's always a question. And your running game's going to get better. Adding Blake Corum. I'm not the biggest Blake Corum guy in the world, but taking some pressure off Kyron Williams really helps. I think that Puka Nacua, he's going to the moon. Like, I don't see any reason he really regresses. I think look, talk about fantasy football again, because that time of year, I'm getting excited for it. If you take Puka in the first round, I have no problem with that at all. I think he can absolutely repeat what he did last year. And then can Cooper Kupp be kind of that 1B again? I mean, 2021, when he posted the best receiver season, maybe the best single season of any player of all time, I think he's in that conversation. It was not that long ago. He's still a guy who can take over games. So offensively, they're great. The one thing, the defense I do worry about. No Aaron Donald, one of the greatest players of all time. And no Raheem Morris. That's a big, big deal.
Yeah,
and again,
yep.
I keep going back to coordinators. We underrate how much losing a coordinator means when he's elevated, right? Like, not just fire a coordinator, but Raheem Morris got that job in Atlanta for a good reason. He is a defensive mastermind, and they might take a step back there. We don't know what to make out of Chris Shula, their defensive coordinator now. So we'll see on that side of the ball. But they drafted a lot of defensive linemen, a lot of the same talent other than Aaron Donald that had a pretty good season for that defense comes back. And the one thing I really, really liked about the Rams, and I focused on it in my preview, is that Sean McVay seems re-energized. 2 years ago, when it looked like every single year we're going to talk about Sean McVay retiring until he eventually does, it doesned seem like that burnout's there anymore. He seems, like, you look at interviews of him, I just saw another one today with Robert Mays over at The Athletic, he just seems regenerized. Like, he seems like a guy who wants to be coaching again, is excited for the challenge, is excited to see where this Puka Nacua thing goes. Everything about Sean McVay, the whole tone seems different than a year ago. I think that's the biggest case for the Rams, is that they kind of got their coach back.
So then what is I would say the worst case, the devil here, is probably 7-10, 8-9. That's kind of the worst case for them. What do you think best case is for them as the angel?
And that's the problem. I can't get them over the 49ers. I really can't. Like, I guess in some world where Purdy gets hurt or so, I hate predicting that because they're so unpredictable. I can't, if the 49ers are reasonably healthy, I cannot see the Rams overtaking them in the NFC West. But can the Rams be one of those wildcard teams that's 11 wins, a team you don't really want to face? We forget they gave the Lions a heck of a game last. We all think the Lions are, one of the top 5 teams in the NFL right now. They almost beat the Lions in Detroit wildcard weekend. Like, that was a close game, closer than we remember, I think. So could they be the type of wildcard team that nobody wants to play round one? And we're talking about them next year. Like, we're talking about the Packers now. If they pull off an upset, absolutely. I think they're just so well coached. And Stafford, I was so impressed with him last year. that I think that they're still the kind of team that if everything hits for them and they don't miss Aaron Donald that much, which is saying a lot, I think this team could be really, really good and back in the playoffs again.
I hear you on almost. I think when we were together at the Super Bowl in Vegas, I almost won at the craps table every time.
Did you? Because I didn't. I was standing next to you. I don't know.
I was
almost.
Yeah. My God, they took everything from me. Okay.